Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, guys. At long last, we are here. The final part of the season 8 reunion of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Everyone deserves a breath of fresh air, guys. We made it. I know some weirdos were trying to boycott, but we made it through, guys. It was a fun night. I am glad that it's over. I am glad that it's over for many reasons, guys. The first one, I don't have to defend Giselle for 1 more year. Like, I can rest easy. At the same time, I'm glad I don't have to see Candiace on my screen anymore. Like, I'm just... And this part 3 actually solidified the reason why I am glad that she's leaving. Also, a bit upset that I think Nneka might leave as well. And I really think Nneka deserves a season 2. Yeah. All in all, happy with the way the season went. Obviously, should have gone better in so many ways. And you can tell that Andy tried, but you know what? Let's not waste so much time on that. We're going to go right into the episode. Guys, again, please, we're on the road to 500, guys. I am 3 subscribers away. Please subscribe, like, share this video. And thank you guys for watching. All right, let's get right into it. Okay, now we start the part 3 with Gordon, right? Because remember we ended part 2 with Gordon trying to review something. I knew it was going to be health related, but guys, I kid you not, I actually thought it was going to be like the C word. So thankfully it is not, but unfortunately it is a mental illness, and that sort of explains, I guess, everything that Mia was trying to imply. And I guess with Gordon as well, you know, like even Gordon had tried to imply, you know, just in his behavior and all that. So it was good to kind of put like a name to what the problem was. Gordon explains to us that he has bipolar 1. Now, I don't really know anything about the mental illness and, you know, diagnosis and things like that. Where I'm from, they don't really diagnose things like that. You know, it's not something that we kind of hear about. So it's not something that I know anything about, so I'm not even going to like keep myself to understand. But I think he really gave a very good explanation as to how, you know, his manic episodes can get and how, you know, crazy he could get. And unfortunately, he couldn't even remember, you know, taking her phone or locking her in the rooms and things like that. And so that means Mia was in line when she said, you know, I'm leaving Gordon because of this outburst. It's quite unfortunate because at this moment, Gordon is saying, you know what, I now have a better handle on my illness. I'm doing what needs to be done to take care of myself. But it looks like it's already too late because Mia has obviously moved on. And Gordon is still not holding that against her. He's still like, look, I understand everything. Wow. I don't know, but I think Gordon just appreciates Mia because at the end of the day, we don't know what was going on in that marriage. But it seems like at the end of the day, Mia is a good person. I don't like her antics. I don't. Personally, I'm not a fan of, you know, cheating when you're in a marriage. It's not something that I like. You know, you don't go into something if you know that you're going to cheat. So I cannot, like, you know, support that nonsense. But hey, I'm not Gordon at the end of the day, so. And I'm not Mia as well, so that's her own battle. But just personally, you know, my preference would be if you're going to get married, you're going into the marriage because you're not going to cheat, right? You're going to be with that person for better or for worse. But it's nice to see that even though she's moving on with her life, she's always going to have Gordon, like she's always going to take care of him and things like that. And Andy even appreciated it. So that was nice, you know. And then we get to Nneka's package. Now, Nneka lets us know about her, you know, her IVF, that the fact that the IUI wasn't working. And I like the fact that one of the fans actually called out the fact that the way the medical practitioner really was so, like, cold and emotionless. If someone is trying to have a baby, especially if they've never had one before, they need someone that is warm, someone that is inviting, someone that is going to like understand that, you know, this is what they're craving. I understand that, you know, medical practitioners see people in and out, and so some illnesses might not be serious to them because you're like, oh girl, what is wrong with you? So that deep, you're gonna get pregnant, let me just go. But the person who is experiencing it, it's her own first time, so she's freaking out. She needs you to be like, hey, you know, it's okay, it's gonna be fine. You know, needs you to be warm to her. And then she lets us know that, you know, she basically thanks all the ladies for being by her side, especially Candiace. And I like the fact that Nneka isn't, you know, holding back friendship with Candiace because of her issues with Wendy, which is what Candice is expecting Robin to do, cover issues with Giselle. But thankfully, Ineka has a mind of her own, so she's not going to do that. And he talks about Potomac, and then we find out that she even grew up in Wisconsin. Now, why didn't she use that in her tagline? Maybe she just doesn't attribute anything of growth to that place. Who knows, right? Anyways, so Andy asks Karen, like, why do you think Nneka doesn't live in Potomac? And Karen is like, well, she lives in the north, and we live in, and Bill Gates says Central. And he's like, yeah, baby. And that just gave me a flashback of Nini and Greg. I like Karen and her husband. And Ray, I like them together, you know. Ray is always there to back up Karen for every and anything, you know, so it's nice. Anyways, they talk about the fact that she grew up in Wisconsin, but anyway, now I live in North Potomac. North Potomac is Potomac, but it's not the central Potomac. I understand, because I live in Canada. There's Toronto, there's downtown Toronto, there's the GTA. People who live in the GTA say they live in Toronto. People who live in Toronto say they live in downtown, so I can understand when I understand the differences and the distinctions and all of that. Anyways, moving on. Now, this is why I love Andy sometimes, and this is why I am so happy that when I watch a show like Potomac, right, especially when it comes to this Wendy and Nneka beef, because I am Nigerian, I could see a lot of things that I was just like, Wendy is so wrong. Like, I'm so glad I called it from day one, and I got a lot of flack on Twitter because I was like, Wendy is lying. It's so obvious that Wendy's lying. If you're a Nigerian and you watch this show, there's no way you're going to be on Wendy's side. And the good thing is that in Nigeria, people are on Nneka's side. There's even an article on it. It was in newspapers in Nigeria. That's how we are so on Nneka's side of this whole nonsense. Anyways, Andy brings it up that now, when we do this show, right, we like people to come through someone. Guys, remember when we met Candice? We met Candice through Ashley. They were never friends, but we met Candice through Ashley in the sense that, we were both pageant girls. They never even competed against each other. But that is how housewives work. Do you think that they're real friends? No. We want to introduce someone into the show, but we want someone to kind of have a link to the show. And that is what Nneka had with Wendy, because they had Lebe in common. And I love the fact that Nneka even said, girl, Married to Medicine was even calling. And we know that Carlos King even said that he also wanted Nneka on his show. So Nneka has been getting calls to be on a reality TV for long. Okay? It's not like she was trying to walk on to be on Housewives. She would have still been on the Bravo show with or without Wendy. Anyways, and Andy exposes Wendy in the sense that Andy's like, well, production actually called you to ask you about Nneka, and production got the vibe that you were very much against her coming on the show. And Wendy starts deflecting. If you want to know Wendy's lying, Wendy's going to deflect 101, and Wendy's going to act all. And then anyone that just says anything to her, she's going to pinpoint something that you've done wrong there and then try and change the topic. Deflection 101. That's literally Wendy's MO. And at that point, Wendy's like, well, I don't know her. So when they asked me, I was just like, I don't know her. No. And I love that Andy called that out. And Nneka even said, I never said I knew you. I said I'd met you because I have. We went on a Phyno concert. Phyno is a Nigerian musician, right? And they were in the VVIP section where there were only 10 people there. But there is no way you don't know her. You can say, oh, I met her just once, but we're not friends. That's fine. When you try to portray like, I don't know her, I've never heard of her in my life, oh my God, that was what Wendy was trying to do. Like, oh my God, who is this cloud chaser? And that is why you know that Wendy's husband unfollowed Ikenna on Facebook. Wendy's mom acted up. It's so obvious. It's the truth. And that's what happened. But Wendy and Candice's friends will never accept that. They wouldn't. They would rather, ostracize the hell out of Nneka. And I love the fact that Nneka pointed out everything. You try to ice me out from the group. You try to insult me every single way, which is what Wendy did. You never even went against Ashley, who brought up the Osu word. Instead, you were coming after me. And that is so true. Because Wendy, guess what? You should have gone after Ashley. That's what you should have done. You could have kept going after Ashley, but you forgave Ashley just like that. But instead, you went against Nneka. Now, I'm going to say something, and I'm going to take it back to quote Dr. Heavily. But you know what? No need. I'm not even gonna take it because I don't want to go too deep into the whole Osu thing. But just for you guys that don't know what Osu is, I'll explain. Because I know the ladies didn't talk about it on the show. Now, Osu is something that, and I'm also Igbo, so I'm in the same tribe with Nneka and Wendy, right? So, Osu is something that happened in the olden days, right? You know how Americans had slavery, right? In the Igbo community, there were people that the Igbos felt were less than them, and so they were like treated as slaves. So basically, they lived in like the gutter, right? No one in the community would associate themselves with them. You could not marry them, you could not hang out with them. They were the outcasts. So Osu basically means outcast in English, right? Osu is the Igbo word, outcast is what translates to in English. And now, this has been abolished several years ago. However, I'll tell you guys this, and this is because I'm Igbo, so I'll tell you guys this. It still exists today. It might not exist in the sense of like, we feel like, you know, now they're beneath us in the sense that they're like our slaves, that's Igbo people. However, you would not ever hear someone who is not Osu say, I'm going to marry someone who is Osu. It would never happen. Your parents will never allow it. They would never allow it. Unless you want to elope and stuff like that. But like traditionally, you cannot marry an Osu if you're not an Osu. They marry themselves. It's been abolished, but till today, it's still practiced in the sense that they are still looked down upon. They will not let you marry an Osu. They will not. They go to their own events. They marry themselves. That's how it is. And we, obviously, that are the younger crowd, might not know who is Osu. So truly, Wendy would not know if Nneka is Osu and vice versa. However, Nneka's parents and Wendy's parents will know who is, because our parents know. Because it was abolished during their time. So they know who is who. We don't know because obviously we didn't grow up in the village. You know, we've grown up in like, you know, towns and cities and things like that. That's just how it works. So it's not, I understand. Like, I really understand why, you know, the women felt it was so sensitive that they couldn't even talk about, because you cannot go and accuse someone that you're not 110% sure is Osu that they are Osu. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. So I can understand the, you know, the intensity of it. And I actually like the fact that Wendy was like, Ashley, why don't you explain? Since you brought it up, why don't you explain what Osu is? And did you guys catch that Ashley kept saying, you know, I heard about it, it had come to my attention, I heard about it, it had come to my attention. I was like, who told you? Who told you? I really wanted her to say who prompted her to talk about it on the show. Because she kept repeating that, you know, it had come up, it had come up, it had come up. But she never said how it came up or who told her about it. I really wanted to know that. But anyway, Wendy's like, how convenient. That's what Wendy said, right? Well, whatever. At the end of the day, Wendy is not going to say anything. She's going to deflect. Because when Nneka starts talking about it, for her to take accountability, she's like, why are you angry? I'm not raising my voice for you. Girl, I don't know why they didn't talk more about it, in the fact that you were going so hard on your fellow Naija babe. But you didn't give that energy to Ashley, who actually called or insinuated that you were Osu. But you're going hard on Nneka just because Nneka said she met you and came on the show through you. Or rather, was meant to come on the show through you. But because you were not ready to bring her in, they had to go to Ashley to bring her in on the show. That should show you the how intense Wendy did not want Nneka on that show. They had to go through Ashley to get Nneka on the show because Wendy wasn't going to do it. And I like that Andy called it out. But the fans are not ready to have that conversation. No. All the fans care about is, oh my God, what Giselle did. Look at what Wendy's doing. I'm going to say this. I would I really want Wendy out. It's that bad. I would take Candice over Wendy, and I do not like Candice for anything. But I would take Candice over Wendy. It's that bad. And I saw in a talk show, she was telling Andy, like, oh, she wanted to take the women to Nigeria. Oh, hell no. If you know Nneka, guys, Nneka's cousin is actually a big celebrity in Nigeria, number one. Nneka actually hangs out with the socialites in Nigeria, number two. Like, she's always in Nigeria every Christmas. She's actually the right person to take the women to Nigeria. Wendy has no ties to Nigeria. So I don't want Wendy to come and try and pretend to take the women to Nigeria, pretend to know things that happen in Nigeria, and then mess up the trip. I would rather someone that actually has ties to Nigeria and can actually show the girls and show us, the audience, a good time, which is Nneka in this situation. I really want Nneka to come back for a season, so I don't care when he comes back. But if Nneka is going to be leaving, then Wendy had better leave her. But I really think Nneka kept her spot. But I was not happy that her segment was short. But I think it was short because they kind of shut down a lot of things. Like, she and Wendy didn't want to talk about the whole Osu witchcraft shrine matter. So it was sort of, well, there's nothing else to talk about. So I don't know. But I'm trying to give her another chance, if that makes sense. All right. Anyways, now the ladies take a break. The men leave. And I don't even know why the men were there, because it seemed like it was only Gordon that was useful. Because they didn't even let Ikenna say anything. Chris is just annoying as usual. Ray, whatever. Why was Eddie there? But Gordon is the only one that, really did anything, really. So, I don't know why the men were there. But, well, the men leave and Kiana comes in. Now, Kiana was auditioning hard to be on this show. I'm sure I'm not the only one who saw it. Like, I like her. Let her come back next season. But, girl, you auditioned so hard. I was like, can you make it any more obvious I want to be on the show, babe? Like, she just gave me that Eva's vibe. Although Eva wasn't even auditioning hard. We already knew Eva was going to be on the show. But just the way that Eva spoke at the reunion when she was a friend of, you know that, okay, she's going to come back. Same thing with Sudden from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So that's what Kiana was doing. So you know Kiana is going to get a flute next season. Like, she's coming back. It's fine. she auditioned so hard that I was like, girl, calm down. You're getting on the show. You already took a hit for someone. You're going to get on the show. It's okay. Kiana joins the ladies, and obviously Andy brings up the girls' trip. And Kiana is like, I'm really happy that, Giselle came to check up on me. I like all the girls. And then Candice is like, oh, I hope you know that was just strategic. And Kiana is like, no. And Giselle starts laughing. Look, guys, Giselle never brings it at the reunion. I don't know if it's the fact that she was second chair. Like, I don't get it. But Giselle is on one. She knows she can't read as hard as Candice can. But what she can do is dismiss Candice at every point. And that's what she's been doing. And it's been working because it's been getting to Candice's skin. And she just starts laughing. Giselle is like, this is ridiculous. Why would I check up on her to be strategic? This just doesn't make sense. And clearly doesn't make sense. And then we get to Wendy's package. Oh, whosoever wrote that first line or that first sentence, thank you. When Andy said, every year is a new business, stick to one thing. I was like, oh my God, clocked it. Wendy has no storyline. Everyone is ready to call out Giselle for no storyline, but nobody's ready to call out Wendy for no storyline. Like, this is the thing that pisses me off. At least Giselle lets you guys know what's going to happen in her kids' life. We don't know anything about Wendy or her family. We know nothing. But the fans are not ready to get, like, you guys don't want to get into that conversation. You guys pick and choose. You guys so much, like, you hate Giselle and Robin so much that you don't even understand when someone is not even bringing anything. Wendy brings nothing now. The only thing she does is create her outfit so that she looks good for the show. Which is all lies. All fake. Nothing about that girl is real, but let's just get on. And anyway, she starts talking about her YouTube. Girl, you're doing a YouTube. How are you over budget? All you need is a phone, a ring light. Like, what are you talking about? Like, mine is even freaking low budget. And you're already a celebrity or a Bravo celebrity. Girl, everyone is going to watch your YouTube. Everyone is. It's just the truth. Like, you already have a platform. So you're going to get people to watch your show. Like, so I don't understand how you went over budget to create a YouTube channel. It just didn't make sense. But you're calling it a talk show. Wendy makes it so, she exaggerates it to make it look so grand. In the end, it's just rubbish. She did it with a candle. She never even opened the restaurant. We all know that was all fake. And then this season with this nonsense talk show. She has no storyline. She lies a lot. She will never give us anything. Everything about Wendy is rehearsed. Reads are rehearsed. Storylines are rehearsed. Her husband is rehearsed. Her mother is rehearsed. Everything about her is rehearsed. We don't even see her kids. Everything is rehearsed. But anyway, she now talks about the fact that, she's still teaching, but she's going to stop because her kids are growing, getting older, and she wants to be there for them, which is really nice. A fan basically writes that, hey, Wendy, why did you call Mia slow, Nneka a crackhead, Mia a liar, or whatever? And then Wendy's like, well, for the crackhead comment, she apologizes. Because obviously, Andy was trying to make Wendy and Nneka move on while they were talking about the whole Osu thing during the Nneka segment. And Nneka is like, I'm ready to move on. I've always been. Wendy's the one already. And Wendy basically did what everybody accuses Giselle of. She didn't want to move on.
She didn't even take accountability. But nobody's ready to talk about that, so we'll move on from that. Anyways, so then she says, well, I apologize for calling you a crackhead. And it doesn't even buy. Nobody buys it. This is BS. And then Mia is like, well, you call me a pathological liar. And everyone starts laughing. Like, Mia, you know you're a liar. You're a liar. And then Candice is like, Mia be lying, which is a Carlos King thing. And then Andy's like, did you just say that? And Candice is like, yeah, because Mia be lying. And everyone starts laughing about it. Because truly, Mia lies a lot. It's unfortunate. And that's one thing you don't want to be known as a liar. That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So I don't know how Mia feels about it, but that's not a good thing. But anyways, at the end of the day, we get to Ashley's segment. Whew. Now, Ashley's segment, we talk about the divorce. Obviously, we're going to get to Deborah's situation, but let's have the divorce, right? Now, Andy says, look, Ashley, it seems like you don't want to get divorced. Like, that's what everybody thinks. And then Ashley's like, look, it's not like I don't want to get divorced. It's just like, I'm in a good place with him when we're good, and when we're bad, we're really bad. So, and I can understand. I think Ashley knows that once the divorce starts, there's no more money. Yeah, she might get the whole money from the court and all that, but there won't be that constant money from Michael. It's going to be a one and done. And she worries about that because as she stays there, you know, she's always had Michael. She's been dependent on Michael. Before she met Michael, she was trying to, you know, have a career. But when she met him, he was like, look, let's travel around the world. And she was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll stop working. So she knows that if Michael leaves, that's the end. She's going to lose that money, that free money that she's getting. But at the same time, it comes at what cost? He's not going to let her move on. He's not going to let her be with other people because he's so jealous of her and things like that. You know, even though he's seeing someone. And she says she's seeing someone, but the person doesn't want to get married. And Ashley wants to get married again. That's something new. But she's really young, so I understand. Anyway, so she kind of explains that, you know, she really loved Michael. She massaged his feet. And Karen is like, ugh. Like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. You know. But you know, Ashley is being Ashley at the end of the day. I don't think she wants to divorce Michael already. I think she wants to, but I don't think she ever will. Although she said, you know, she's filing the complaint to start the process. I don't think she will. They talk about DNA. And Andy's so shady. Andy's like, well, was DNA fashion show giving Lululemon meets Savage, which is obviously Rihanna's clothing line, or She by Sheree? And then Karen says, no, it was actually grocery store. I'm going to catch a booty call. And she's always like, I'm not mad at that. Not too bad then, you know. At that point, Andy brings up the fight. So Andy asks Kiana, like, what happened? And Kiana explains, like, you know, initially, it was actually Wendy that was trying to de-escalate with Deborah. But then she was sort of in Deborah's personal space. And then one thing led to another. Deborah threw the drink at her and she had to defend herself. Now, Andy's like, you know, we saw the tape on TMZ because we were not recording at the time. And we saw you throwing punches after she had thrown the drink at you. Like, what was going through your mind at that time? And she basically explains, I was defending myself, you know. She had struck a glass on me. I was bleeding. I was just trying to defend myself, which I can understand. It's fight or flight at that point. So I do understand what Kiana went through. But obviously, you should never, ever fight someone else's battle in life, because it can really get so dangerous real quick, you know. Especially in that kind of aggressive, violent situation, Kiana, and he's trying to understand what kind of caused the fight, right? So he's like, all right, what happened from your own point of view? Did you think your insult sort of added to it? And then Candice is like, no, I never said anything to her when she came up to me. And we could see, or rather, we could hear it in the tape, right? We know the cameras went down, and we know that we could hear Deborah's voice first. So I know that Deborah went to Candice, like, do you have anything to say to me? And then Candice goes off, and that's when we hear everything start, the glass and the fighting and the whole of it. Now Mia inserts herself, and Mia says, you know what, I believe that Deborah was on a rampage that night, because she came to me and was like, hey Mia, you called me a four, and Mia was like, hey, quickly de-escalated in the sense like, babe, I didn't mean it like that, we're all African, like, we're all queens, we're all black queens, we're all tens. And it was squashed. So Mia was trying to explain to Candice that if you're just paid no mind to it, maybe it won't have gotten to that point. And that's the point that Candice is still not understanding. Allegedly, I believe that Candice is the kind of person that this is not the first time someone has tried to beat her up. She has a sharp mouth that
can believe if she's been smacked once or twice. You cannot have that kind of mouth and expect everyone to have that kind of mouth as well. Some people don't have time to speak. They speak with their hands, i.e. Monique, i.e. Deborah. You have to watch how you speak to people, because you cannot you cannot expect everyone to react the way you react. That's why you have to watch yourself in order to ensure that the reaction is not, crazy. And that's why you see when Mia is saying what she said. Now, obviously, we know Mia has also thrown a drink on someone because of the words that were said to her, which is not good. I'm not even condoning what Deborah did, but we all have to understand. Candice, that's the part Candice is not understanding. Not everyone has time to listen to the nonsense or wants to argue with words. Some people are like, you called me an idiot. They use their hands. That's just how people are. Or they use a freaking weapon. That's just how people are. So that's why you have to watch your words around people, because not everyone has the same brain that you have. That's just life. So you cannot go about insulting and accusing people and getting upset with people and calling them aggressive and violent when your mouth is violent and aggressive as well. And that's what everyone was trying to explain to her. But Candice just doesn't understand. She still doesn't understand. Well, at that point, Andy asked Giselle, like, okay, Giselle, obviously it affected your event. What did you think? And Giselle was like, look, I blame everybody on that stage. Everybody there. Everyone else part of that group, I blame them. Wendy, Candice, Kay, Deborah. And that's when Wendy's like, yo, what did I do to deserve it? And obviously, Candice is like, whoa, why am I in it? I'm like, Candice, shh. And Mia is like, no. Wendy wasn't there. Like, she was there, but she wasn't, like, there. And so immediately Giselle is like, okay, I take Wendy out of it. And then Candice is like, oh, so you're taking Wendy out of it, but you're not going to take me out of it. I'm like, girl, why would they take you out of it? You're more at fault than freaking Kiana. Like, what are you even talking about, Candice? This is the part but Candice's fans are not ready to have this conversation. They all feel like Candice has been so treated so badly. Oh my God, she's sort of victim. She's a martyr. Like, oh, let her just leave this show for her peace. She has been causing so many unrest. So if she's leaving, that gives us peace. Candice is not this goody. Like, I can't deal with the fakery. Like, whatever. I can't. But anyway, at this point, Candice is upset that no one is sticking up for her, and she starts crying. I don't expect you guys to fight for me. I'm on this on my own. Andy doesn't even care. Andy's looking at his cards. No one is even paying any mind to her. And I'm like, yes, this is what you get. It's one thing for someone to smack the shit out of you, i.e. Monique, and then you learn from there. You went on a rampage, insulting people. You go so low, and you think everyone's going to argue the same way you do? No. Everybody cannot react to something the same. No. We have different people with different temperaments out here. Just why you have to watch the way you speak to people. You actually have to. Okay? So I'm sorry, Candice, it is your fault. It is your fault. It's also Kiana's fault for inserting herself. And obviously, at the end of the day, it is Deborah's fault, because why will you be violent? But Deborah is not here to, speak. So, and I'm sure we'll never see Deborah again on Potomac. So, whatever. At that point, Karen even asks, Candice a question. She's like, Candice, I just want to know, at what point did you call her a vermin? A vermin. A vermin. She was just saying vermin. Giselle, it was like vermin. Anyways, Candice is like, well, when she walked up to my face and said, do I have anything to say? That's when I called her a vermin. And that's when Mia was like, you have more to lose, so you can't react like that. And I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Exactly what we're trying to explain to you, Candice. You have more to lose, babe. So you just, what you were meant to have done at that point is pay no mind. Now, if you had said not one word to her, and she had done that to you, everyone would have been on your side. But because we know you went after her too, we cannot just be on your side blindly. I'm sorry, I can't. At that point, Andy asks her if she would have thrown the champagne bottle. Mia says yes, but she's like, look, I don't know. Because at that point, so many things were happening. And she starts with her fake tears. Not one tear dropped. Not even one. And I'm so glad no one cares anymore. And she's like, I don't expect anyone to fight for me. I'm on my own. Whatever. I'm so glad this is the last time I'm going to see her on Potomac. That's just why I can breathe easy, because it's the end. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just happy about that. So whatever. Like, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's it. So her fans are upset that she's leaving, and they're trying to push that onto Giselle and Robin and the rest of the cast. Girl, no, it is your fault. Because you listen to your fan base a lot. You listen to your fan base so much, and then they've sent you to the unemployment line. And I hope they buy your music, because Andy asks Ashley why Deborah was there, and if obviously Ashley knew that Deborah was going to confront Candice. Now, this is where I think Ashley messed up, because Ashley's like, oh, I didn't know it was going to get to that point, but yeah, she did tell me that she wanted to clear the air. Now, I can look at it both ways. After all, she also went Amia as well. Yeah, maybe she was trying to clear the air, but she probably has a short fuse that the thing that Candice said just pissed her off so much, and then she hit her, or she threw the drink at her, right? Because she actually went after Mia as well, right? And as Mia said, it was escalated. So yeah, maybe to Ashley's defense, she really was coming to clear the air. But at the same time too, Ashley knew it was going to cause some drama. But obviously, I don't think Ashley anticipated it to actually be a fight. So that's where Ashley's like, I'm not going to take accountability for, I'm not going to, take the blame for the kind of violence that ensued. But yeah, I can take the blame for bringing her there, because yes, I did know she was coming. But obviously, of course, Ashley knew it was going to cause drama. So Ashley didn't care as much as, because it's her event. She didn't care that much. So noted Ashley, like, girl, stop. And how is it that Ashley never gets blamed for anything? If you guys notice, like, they might blame her, but they all just make up with her. Because remember, coming to the season, Candice was upset that Michael had filed a lawsuit, but she was friends with Ashley all through. Same with Wendy, you're upset about the lawsuit, but you're friends with her all through. But then you blame other people. Very weird, right? Now, at this point, Andy's done. Like, Andy's voice is gone. Andy's like, you know what? I was hoping to kind of mend some fences. And he's like, Candice and Robin, any hope here? And Candice is like, well, it's all in Robin's court, because she doesn't want to be my friend anymore. Okay. And it's like, Ineka and Wendy. Ineka is like, I'm good. I've apologized. I'm ready to move forward. I've taken accountability. Wendy's like, they where you did. Basically, it's wherever you are, I don't care. Let's coexist. Which is weird, because Wendy's still like, what have I done to you? Are you just blind, or you just want to act dumb? And I can't be Wendy. I just can't. And then we get to Giselle and Candice, and Andy's like, I'm not even gonna bother. That both of you just need Jesus. And Candice is like, I have Jesus. I'm like, girl, bye. Anyways, at that point, he even tells Karen, like, Karen is the fence. And she is the fence. Karen even knows that I will never let anything violent happen to anyone. Like, I love this with women, including Robin. At the end of the day, Andy's like, we're gonna get you guys humble pies, even though no one was humble. And Giselle and Karen, as pillars of the show, crown Andy the Duke of Potomac, which is really a nice way to end it. Guys, how did you guys feel about this reunion episode? How do you guys feel about Candice leaving? Who else do you think should leave? I know I am Team Giselle, so you don't have to be Team Giselle because I'm Team Giselle. Like, I like when we have, like, arguments and things like that. So that's fine. I'm ready to have conversations. So I understand if you're Team Candice. It's fine. But guys, how I feel about this season of Potomac, I think they can move forward now that Candice is no longer going to be on the show. I don't want them to take out Wendy because they took out Candice, so Wendy can stay. But I really want Ineka there. Kiana can be there as well. I need like 1 or 2 other women, and I think we have a show. Especially if Robin is leaving as well, it will be a good show. I'm excited for season 9. I cannot wait to see what that means. Guys, please let me know what you think about the reunion episode. How you guys feel about everything happening on Twitter. Oh yeah, before I forget, Giselle said, I cannot wait to see the tweets. Now I went on Twitter and everyone is like, oh my god, did she think we like her? I'm like, you do understand that when Giselle says I cannot wait to see the tweets, she knows the tweets are going to be so against her, because that's how it's always been. Like, why are you guys just choosing to be like ridiculous at this point on purpose? Because people on Twitter are like, oh my god, did Giselle think that we're going to praise her? Like, because we know you're a Team Candice. Like, what are you guys talking about? But anyways, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to season 9. I'm glad that Candice is leaving. I cannot wait to see what happens. If Robin is leaving as well, it's because of her husband, because he failed her immensely at this reunion. There was nothing she could have done. He failed her immensely. And now that we have Mia's crazy storyline we don't really need Robin and Juan anymore because Juan is not even going to give or needs to be given, right? So looking forward to season 9, guys. I'm looking forward. Guys, now that we're done with the Housewives for a while, I really want to recap Summer House. I love Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, and the regular Summer House. So I'm going to start recapping that from next week. I love you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe. We're on the road to 500. Thank you guys so much for everything. I love you all. And I enjoy your week and have a great week. Bye.